Hello viewers, Super GT here. If we jump into another week of Gran Turismo 7 races, we have a specified car type in Daily Race A. But if you click on it, it isn't a car, it's a kart. The 125 shifter. In historic Gran Turismo terms, this means nothing but the utmost levels of carnage whenever we take to the track in this very machine. So, let's jump in for a couple of races and see what we can do here. Now, this race is an 8-lap race around Kyoto. It's a very short circuit and it's a very short race. We're going to try and fight our way through from the back of the pack. Now, already, you can see I'm getting dropped by the pack. That's not ideal. This is our first attempt at the race after quite a while not driving the karts. I haven't driven them yet in GT7 actually until this point, and they actually handle fairly similar to how it did on GT Sport. But have a look here through the corner at the end of the lap here. Got a couple of cars moving stage left there, turning right and then just turning left out of the right-hander. Then here's me obliterating the curb and obliterating the Spanish driver on the outside there. Absolutely shameful ramming there from Super GT. So I'm barely in control of this thing. And we go past this guy. The unfortunate thing here is that once you lose touch with the pack at the front, it's very difficult. You move up into 6th, and I thought I was destined for a race result of 6th position, which would normally be the case with me. But as we come through the final chicane here, just have a look at my steering input here as we go drifting into the pit lane. My pit crew here questioning. I mean, they're just stood there like, mate, why are you even coming in? This is a no-stop race. Get back out there. Don't come into the pit lane. So we get ourselves a nice 3-second penalty, actually. And to be fair, I did cross the pit entry line. Not that I wanted to come into the pit lane anyway. So race completely ruined by myself, really. And, well, just look at that. Super GT finishing dead last. That just really is not good enough. Especially for someone who's done a fair amount of karting throughout my life. Good 20 years of it. So I had a quick look at the replay. Watch myself killing this Spaniard. Yeah, not at all pretty. But that curb is just lethal. Thought I'd have a look at some drivers towards the front of the pack. Look at Speedman here. And there's pretty much carnage throughout the pack. Doesn't matter where you are. Mid-pack, front pack, back pack. You're going to be involved in some various configuration of destruction in some various way. So we give the race another go. We're going to set off in last. We're not going to set a qualifying time for these first few attempts. A couple of guys quite narrow there. We're going to go around the outside. A fantastic move through the final chicane. This chicane's actually harder than it looks. The kart is actually very difficult to handle. As, well, case in point there, me crashing once again as we come through the exit. And finishing that one in 10th. And yeah, not very good, not very ideal, but it's better than 12th. So we are actually improving, amazingly. So this is the 3rd attempt, and there were no crashes, except for one, which was just the entire game crashing. So that race didn't actually happen. Quite annoying. So we had to wait another 20 minutes. For race number 4, you could call this race number 3, because race number 3 didn't really happen. So through this curb, and you can see that was my kryptonite. That final curb just absolutely murdering me once again. So I thought, okay, let's put some serious time in here to do some practice laps and try to improve my qualifying time. Let's start a bit further forward. Setting a 42.8 there on my first lap. So through this first corner, it's really a case of just getting as close as you can to the curb and minimising the distance travelled. You can see the yellow on the bottom right on the radar. That's my ghost. I'm just trying to nibble away a few tenths, and it's actually very difficult to do. This is the difficult corner, this right-hander here. The brakes are extremely sensitive in this car, so you don't really want to press it fully, but you can use the sensitivity to your favour if you can get the back end to come round slightly. Very difficult to get right though. not getting murdered by that curb, and then we raced the ghost cart with no driver, quite mysteriously, to the line. 42.6, not a bad time. It's going to put us on 4th on the grid for the next race. Can we move a bit further forward? Can we finish higher than 10th? Let's see. So we're going to move away from the grid. Getting a decent start with 1 TCS. So you want to put 1 traction control on just for the initial launch, and then kind of take it off before you even get to 2nd gear, to be honest. So you just need it for the very sort of half second at the start. We've got Michael Schumacher here, just in front. He's going to exit stage left and move down a bunch of positions from pole position, he was, into the long right-hander at the end. Bit of contact, driver coming through. We're going to do the old switcheroo on him. Carnage through the turn. Through here. Avoid the curb. Well, not really avoiding it at all, but we do avoid dying, which is advisable. Into the slipstream now. And the slipstream is so important. We've got a driver right behind us on our tail. We've got 3 Brits at the front of the pack. 4 Brits at the front of the pack. Now 3. One of them died somewhere. And we've got Floyd here just in front. Now this was really a case of let's work together. We have to work together and be smart if we want to stand a chance of trying to catch up with the leader. It is quite difficult to put away as the leader if the guys behind are in the slipstream, which we are. But it didn't matter because, well, hello. Diddy Kong here is going to inevitably fly into us, so just pause it the moment before carnage ensues. So as you can see, we're having an absolutely torrid time here. This is what happens when you just dive in without really practicing. I suppose the racing I'm doing is just the practice. So it's quite a painful learning curve, it must be said, but I can promise you that we will get there. Now this one we started in 3rd. And it's really a case of trying to break away in a group at the front of the pack. That is the secret to success in this kart race. And obviously just not crashing. I mean, that goes without saying, really. But you know, the more in the middle of the back you are towards the start, it's so much easier to get caught up in some sort of accident. The closer to the front you are, I think you just stand more chance of avoiding those crashes. And it's really a case of trying to pull away as a group at the front, which we are kind of doing here. There's a group of 4 here at the front, and as long as you're in that front group, it's good. And you can see we've broken away slightly from P5. That's good news. So you've narrowed down the options of possible opponents for the win. That's what we want to be doing. We want to, ideally, want to be on our own at the front, but there's 3 others here. 3 Spaniards, the Spanish Armada up against us here. As we come into this turn. Look to the inside, just play it nice and safe here. And actually we get a nice bump from behind. That's fine. We're going to kind of get bumped through into P2. We'll take it. We'll take the bump. And get into that slipstream with the kart in front. You see he's just going to try and move across the track to try to break the toe. We're just going to try and stay right on his tail. It's quite actually awkward to drive this kart like directly behind someone else when they're moving about like that. The handling of this kart is just very weird. I don't think there's really many ways to say it. Now here we're going to pull off a classic old switcheroo. I mean, look at that. 10 out of 10 for execution. We move up into the lead. Absolutely incredible scenes. So our character development is well and truly underway here. And as we look behind, we see the Spanish Armada hunting us down. And there's quite an ominous sight for any Englishman. Now, the front battle here gets narrowed down to the 3 of us. So myself and 2 Spaniards now. Coming up towards the end of lap number 5. Not long left, but they're both on my right hand side. It's going to be very difficult to defend this one. I kind of have to let it happen. And I move down to the 3rd. That's fine. That's fine. We've still got 3 laps. So there's no rush just yet. Just stay in the race. That's the key thing here. Don't die. Stay in the race. Give yourself a chance. If you're in the race, then you have a chance. If you're not in the race, then you don't have a chance. It's really that simple. And we're still in the race here. End of lap number 6. As they go side by side, that's never ideal for the pair of them. So I managed to get the overtake done and move up into 2nd. I'm not sure where this guy is. There he is, just on my right hand side as we head into turn 1. Lap number 7, the penultimate lap of the race. Going to go for the move here. Comes across with a late defensive move. Can I get the old switcheroo on him? Not quite. We're going to have to stay in second. That's fine. We've got one more lap left. We're going to have to give this guy space through the chicane. Don't die on the curb. Thankfully, we've done it. We've made it onto the final lap in the front group. Could this be the inaugural victory of Super GT in the go-karts on Gran Turismo 7? Through turn 1 in the slipstream, trying to defend, trying to attack. I am the meat in the Spanish sandwich. Not anymore, I'm at the back of the pack. As we come through here, I'm just going to take way too much curb and spin off into Barrier, who kills me, finishing P8. How sad is that? We were in with a very good shot there. But we're going to move on very quickly. There's no point dwelling on it, because the progress is real. Even though I finished 8th, to be fair, that's better than 10th. So 12th, then 10th, then 8th. So I guess 6th is coming up now. For those of you who see a pattern emerging there. But let's take a look at this one, shall we? This is the first lap. I'm going to go through here, and I felt, well, like, you know what, okay, I'm just going to back out and play this one a little bit safer there. And I think that methodology, that mindset paid off a little bit. I think in my earlier attempts, I was a little bit too aggressive in trying to get to the front too quickly, and it was resulting in me crashing and dying. And, you know, you just have to calibrate your approach sometimes. So here, trying to go past the Frenchman, and it was quite a big gap to the carts in front, as you can see, over a second. But over the course of a couple of laps, courtesy of them battling, I managed to catch up. So somehow I managed to catch the front group, which is quite difficult to do unless they really do go at it. Setting the fastest lap of the race there, 42.3. And now we've pulled ourselves into the leading battle on the final lap. Up the inside of P3, up into second position with 1 lap left to go as we round out turn number 1, coming down the hill. This is where it all goes wrong in this race. And boom, we meet our fate once again in the barrier. And I would say it's mostly my fault, that one, because I turned across the other guy. We kind of both turned a little bit, but I was more mad at myself for the fail once again. Once again, another big fail. I'm sure you're very frustrated about this video so far, but promise me it gets better. I promise you it gets better. In this race, I can't even remember which race we're on now, about 6 or something, 6 or 7. Had so many attempts, so many fails, but we are slowly improving. The journey towards a win is fast approaching. Now in this one, I just want to point you towards this. This is George Russell. And yeah, there he is. George Russell, Mercedes Formula 1 driver in the race. Who would have thought it? Absolutely incredible scenes. Never thought I'd see the day that George Russell would actually log on and give us a go-kart race. But I guess he just loves the content and wants to be part of it. So it's really good to see as we move up into the lead of the race. So is this our chance? As you can see, the progress is pretty good over the course of this video. It was really bad at the beginning. Yes, we have crashed in most of the races, but here we are on lap number 4 in first, and this sums up this race really, because it's really a case of George Russell not leaving me alone. As you can see, every time I looked behind, he was right there, every time. Sometimes left, sometimes right behind me. It was quite scary, very rather ominous, and no matter what I did, I just couldn't shake him. George Russell was basically my shadow. Couldn't do anything about it other than just keep my cool and try not to do anything stupid. We're still in the lead here, and he couldn't quite get the overtake done, so I only had to survive 1 more lap, moving to the inside of the track to prevent the overtake. There he is on the left hand side, the outside into turn 1. This is where it all goes wrong, as I get a massive oversteer moment on the curb, turn left to correct it, overcorrect it, and boom, George Russell has been assassinated. He spins off in despair, and I come through moments later to claim victory. It's a shallow victory, but it is a victory. So with George Russell dispatched, we take the win and the clean race bonus. Look at that, clean race. Would you believe it? And it was all high spirits in the chat afterwards. So no hard feelings there. But I thought I'd go again. Surely, hopefully, I could get this race win without murdering my primary opponent. That's the idea here. Can we do it? George Russell is back. He's at the front of the pack once more. And as we set off for this final race, bumping into the back of the Ferrari driver, we've got all sorts of drivers here. We've got a Ferrari driver, that Charles Leclerc, perhaps. And then we have George Russell in here. And then we've got Alex Albon on a McLaren chassis. It's all kicking off. Incredible scenes, incredible content. This guy comes through. Nice overtake. Oh, bit of contact into the chicane. Oh my god, another hit. Just try to survive. Try to survive. We do that. And we stay in the slipstream. Thank goodness for that. Just about staying in the race by the skin of our teeth. Very, very close call indeed. But into the penultimate turn. I don't even know penultimate turn. It's not really the penultimate turn because this chicane has a couple of corners in it. So I'm just talking nonsense right now. Now through here, there's a bit of a moment. A bit of a kerfuffle. Russell and the Spaniard not getting a good run out of the chicane. Look at that, the double overtake. We move up into P2. Up behind the Dutch driver in the Ferrari kart on lap number 4. Okay, we're in with a shout here. Fastest lap of the race on lap number 2. We have the pace, there's no question. But can we get the luck? And also try to not murder George Russell this time around. And there's a bit of contact there, but we keep the car under control. We are getting slightly better with our kart control. Not spinning off into the wall at the slightest inconvenience. So, staying in the race. Oh, actually, is the penalty for this Spaniard. That means we're going to be down to 2 at the front here. So we say goodbye to the Spanish driver. It's a 2-horse race now at the front of the pack. I'm about half a second behind. I'm within slipstream range, and as you can see, over the course of the next couple of laps, I'll just slowly begin to reel this guy in and give myself half a chance of trying to win this one. He's all over the curb, obliterating final curb, but keeping the car under control. Good stuff from him. As we head up into turn 1, lap number 7, less than 2 laps remaining in the race. As you can see, very close indeed. His kart and the back of his suit there and his helmet taking up more pixels on the screen, and that tells you we are fast approaching the lead of the race as we move to the right hand side. Got the inside into this turn, get on the brakes nicely, tries it around the outside. It's not quite going to work, and with 1 1/4 laps remaining, we move into the lead of the race. Over the curb, we don't die. Good stuff. We've learnt our lesson. Keep it nice and straight. Here he comes. We're going to defend this corner. Go to the inside of the turn on the way in. And as we go through here, just keep it on the inside. Make sure that he can't get on my right hand side here. As we head over the crest and back down the other side, it's the final lap. I just have to defend the big right hander at the end, and surely the race victory is mine. As we come through, he's right behind me. Very, very close indeed. He goes to the outside. We're going to force him to the left hand side. He's going to have to go the long way round. He tries it. It's not quite going to work. And there, guys, if I survive the chicane, that's it. But thank you so much for watching this one. It was a long, arduous journey, but we finally get that race win.